Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Apology for, of course, the tardiness in the start, but circumstances beyond our control, technical issues. Murphy's law. We always like to say Murphy's law at work. Yes, indeed. Murphy's law at work when, of course, something has to go wrong. It will at the worst possible time.
But the most important thing, Lennox Smith, it ain't stop the show. So, oh boy. So what you have for
Yeah.
me on the headliners this morning? You know, we got
Well,
go through certain things and see.
everything, almost everything, my friend. The fact of the
I
matter
hope,
is that
but I hope that almost everything include, because I was getting all the information from our good friend Carnage, that big kidnapping day, that ain't look like Trinidad kidnapping at all. When you see a man have a
well,
grenade by a man chest, a gun by a man head, a next gun to a man wife head, and a man blowing hard, like you know, is the last boy Lennox Smith boy. What do you think about that?
yeah,
Did you see that video, boy?
and a fella, and he calling for a fella called Robert, and I said, is he brother? I almost thought it was Robert Amar,
You thought
but
you thought it was Robert Amaru? The man, boy, what's
well,
me? Lennox Smith,
Robert, yeah,
I
yeah,
feeling sorry. I feel sorry, and the man wife, Lennox. All I seen in them face is death. Seriously,
yeah,
you know. I wonder if they pay the ransom because the ransom Lennox Smith is $2 million US
two point
because
five
again your
million,
time to
yeah,
organize and get your papers and them up and ready and going, right? So I am already here too. Oh yes, and I had also do this too. Oh boy. So Trinidad and Tobago. By the meanwhile, things are being put in place. Yes, it was a late start or is a late start, but let us keep let's continue the fight. All in now, come on. For those of you that now come on, the 200 and something of you already, and it will be billing. Did you all see? Because it have other issues, but I want to touch on that basic one because it have people in Trinidad and Tobago are saying that how manage the radar didn't pick up that them went down the islands and we sure I sure without we seeing, I want to believe on all my co-hosts and all sure without we seeing the people in the background, that is not a local kidnapping. That could never be a local kidnapping. So obviously, both went there and pick up them. And obviously, I believe that the video was sent after they done secure that wife. After they done
yeah.
secure that wife and that husband.
After the act was completed, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Just to show proof that they have them, and to motivate them to find the money for the safe return.
Right, but do you believe that when they lego that video, Lennox Smith, that those people in Trinidad still, or you believe they're out of the country? And could you answer that question to why the radar, because that's what people are saying, why did not the radar pick up that boat coming across there to organize and go kidnap this husband and wife and maybe have them back in Venezuela mainland, or they could be in Trinidad? Or you think they're in Trinidad?
I don't think so, because of the proximity of that peninsula, that piece that juts and create what is called the dragon mouth, that in the what we call the Bocas. So there are a lot of little villages along that going forward. So it's easy to just take somebody from Trinidad and get them into some secluded part of the Venezuelan peninsula there with jutting into Trinidad without difficulty. So I don't think that they are that the kidnap victims are in Trinidad. But in terms of the functionality of the radar, I think it is a stretch of the imagination to even think that is possible, because the Americans are looking for what? For drugs. And therefore, I'm sure that their technology would have been zeroed in on that. That is why it is like saying, if a fisherman legitimately strays into Venezuelan waters, or even vice versa, but is engaged in fishing activities, then the system that they would have employed, their surveillance would have certainly picked up if it had drugs in the boat itself or the pirogue, as the case may be. So it is far fetched to think that the radar would pick up that, and to know that the people have an intention to go and kidnap, because there's no drugs to alert or to red flag the system that I'm sure that the Americans are deploying, which of course any radar system that the Americans are deploying at this time would of course bring about. Certainly, it will be seen, I'm sure, as a normal vessel in Trinidad and Tobago's waters. From that perspective, the radar could and should have picked it up, but to say that the radar would know what the intention is and where it would have landed or where it would have birthed, I think, of course, is stretching that imagination too far. But I suppose there's only PNM oriented persons who will be thinking in that kind of incongruent and illogical way.
All right, so you're saying that because the only way for a radar was to pick up that, it had was to be focusing on that specific boat leaving wherever to come there to kidnap those two couples, and you hear that is a 1%.
If it was suspicious, if it was a suspicious, but I'm sure that, and the Prime Minister did reiterate what we said, that the fact that fish is not an exorbitantly exorbitant commodity at this point in time in terms of cost shows that people continue to fish. Right.
Also, so the Prime Minister
I could see that particular exercise being seen and not being red flagged as anything suspicious. They went, they did what they had to do, and they returned again without being detected because there was no reason to focus. If there was, as I say, a large stash of drugs and amphetamine and all of that, well, I think that the system would have been triggered, and therefore it would be a different story. Everybody might have been blown up.
Oh, so the Prime Minister did mention that look, fish, because I know you was mentioning that the cost of fish.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Well, the Prime Minister did regurgitate that. Yes, he did. She did say that the price of fish has not increased. However, she was making the comparison. She was saying that, of course, the influx or the availability of marijuana and cocaine in the country has drastically been reduced, and therefore one expects that the repercussions of that would be also the reduction in arms and ammunition that usually will be deposited or associated with these trafficking of contraband elements, including, of course, human trafficking and so on. So that's the benefit. But at the same time, another benefit is that the price of fish in the market in Trinidad has not, of course, exponentially increased as one would have expected from some of these soothsayers. But that has not happened.
Way. Wow.
Yeah. That's the situation there with respect to that. I know that the callers will want to make their input. I just have the article here, a couple snatch from Monas Island home, US 2.5 million ransom demand. Now, the fact that it is US, you understand? The US tells me that it cannot be a Trinidad solely operation. It might be a combination. But of course, the fact that it's US, it means therefore the suspicion is that it would have been the perpetrators would have come from elsewhere.
Mr. Carnage, a pleasant good morning to you, and your expertise is needed this morning based on, again, that whole kidnapping where it's all over the place, where people actually seeing a grenade to chest, we don't know that is not local. Gun to head by the man, we know that is not local carnage. We know use a fisherman. We know when it comes to that coast there, use a man well Okura with down on that coast. And I will love and I will call out to the government of Trinidad and Tobago, Wayne Sturge and Roger Alexander, to really and truly have a discussion with you if they really and truly want to curb the drug situation on that aspect or part of Trinidad and Tobago. I will ask very seriously for it to really and truly look at you. We also see gun to the wife head. We also see carnage, the wife head bow, and the gentleman carnage. We also see that man blow. Like, you know, somebody now taking their last breath. You know, when people in the hospital dying.
And he ball out for Robert. Robert, we need your help.
He ball out for, look, Lennox say he ball out. Robert, we need your help. Carnage. What do you detect in all of this? Is it locals going with this, man? What it is you believe going on? I'm not saying it here.
Well, Andy, first to begin with, pleasant good morning to you again, Trinidad and Tobago. Lennox, my brother, pleasant good morning to you.
Indeed.
Well, Andy, you see the situation getting more ticklish and more ticklish because the situation that Trinidad is in right now and Venezuela is in right now with America. Now, Trinidad supported America, but what I will say, anytime the Spanish and them could come on the water and reach a place like in Monas Island, which is right in Fos Bocas. Monas, if you know the water course good, Monas is just on the left-hand side. If you're coming out from on the north coast, it's on the right-hand side of the Fos Bocas. If you're going to the Fos Bocas, it's on the left-hand side. And that is opposite the Trinidad and Tobago Army base. Right? Monas is opposite the Trinidad and Tobago Army base. Right around the corner is the Coast Guard base. And if men could come up from Venezuela fully armed and take a person like that, Andy, that tell a lot to Trinidad and Tobago what's cooking, brother. That tell a lot.
But you mentioned there, Carnage, how close Monas Island is, because we understand what's me. You is a born, grow, you know the seas, you know it well. Look, you could actually tell me, look from the north and where Monas Island is, you actually show us how close Monas Island is to the army base or to the Coast Guard base, and plus very close to Venezuela. And I can recall at times on this program, you keep calling and telling people a lot of Venezuelans coming to Trinidad and Tobago shores through wrong there, whether it be legally via fishing or something so, or however it go, and that they don't understand. The powers that be really don't understand that part up there, or if they do understand, they're deliberately ignoring that part up there for like drugs to come in, for immigrants to come in, and for mercenaries to come in, maybe for the drugs or the drug money that is owed to them. Or again, I don't know.
All right, I will say something here again, but all right. You see, in a situation like that, right? Shagamas, where the authorities supposed to know fully well what is taking place in the Shagamas area, right? And the authorities supposed to be fully aware that it have a lot of Spanish boats. When I say Spanish boat, not little pirogue, but fishing vessels who just proclaim to say they come in and sell fish in Trinidad and Tobago. And in that same Shagamas area, they just come and sell a lot of fish, right? Now, if you're getting the opportunity and they are using you as a tunnel to deal with drugs and everything of the sort, automatically, if you're bringing fish, you could bring other things, right? The Coast Guard don't understand. I will say point bold and brave on national radio. They don't really do nothing, right? Because they don't have no equipment where like boat and thing is concerned to really man the Gulf of Paria how they're supposed to. The Gulf of Paria is something that if this new administration want to really take hold of a lot of things that taking place in Trinidad where drugs and things, they have to deal with the Gulf of Paria. I seen it big, bold and brave on national radio, right? I want the people in authority like the Minister of National Security and the Minister of the Borders, which is Mr. Sturge, to take the opportunity. I am willing to work, because I'm a UNC supporter, I'm a UNC activist, so I'm willing to work to make sure that my government have things under control, and not like the former administration. They didn't have a Coast Guard boat. Just imagine, it ain't even a boat to bring the prisoners from Carrera to the mainland. Just imagine that, Andy. It don't even have a boat. They just use pirogue. They just use pirogue to deal with the prisoners and them. So if these things taking place, and you just think about it, the door open wide. The door open wide. Look, they're blowing up boat. They're blowing up Trump doing the work and protecting America out there. Trump, anything in international waters, anything coming up the road like it coming to Venezuela, to coming to America, Trump dealing with that. But who dealing with Trinidad and Tobago where that is concerned? It is alleged that they put a radar in Tobago, and I don't know if it's a one in Trinidad too. But what I'm saying, Andy, radar, yes, radar is good to see about things were coming from far and wide. But manpower, vessels on the water, Coast Guard active, moving up and down, that will say a lot. And if people now decide to take boat and say, all right, let me go and secure we border. Now the Coast Guard might come out there and they might see we 4 or 5 hours in our boat, and they go look the whole way and say we're doing something illegal or something wrong. But we might be trying to help we borders. We might be trying to stand up and say, well, enough is enough, because Andy, there's a lot of Spanish still coming in Trinidad and Tobago. And simple as that. The people who come in here are Spanish. We don't know if it's good Spanish. We don't know if it's terrorists. We don't know what. Because I tell all the other day, when the American that give us the advisory and they say they don't want, that was for the Diwali holidays, and they say that they don't want people of their country, they don't want the citizens going in this building and that building. You see, it didn't happen here. It happened in Venice, it happened in Guyana, where Spanish leave and come on a boat and put a bomb in a dustbin and kill a little child. And it's be telling all of that every day. It appears like nobody has seen nothing. But look what come and happen now. A big one. That is a big one, Andy. And I know a little bit of money, in TT. If you do the mathematics in TT, that is approximately $17 million, Andy. Or more, if you do the mathematics, So when you see a man, a gun in his head, a hand grenade on his chest, a gun in his wife's head, and they're asking for that kind of money, Andy, and they come in your house and take you in Monas, first Bocas, second Bocas, third Bocas, and the Grand, right? The Grand is the last part where Trinidad and Venezuela. The last part of Trinidad, the beginning of Venezuela. And if people could come and do that, Andy, well, oh Lord, Father, I would like to see what will take place if they decide to come and start to do that a little regular again. I wonder if you hear me, my brother.
Oh boy, Lennox Smith. It have anything, because I'm looking to play that video before Carnage leave. I want to play that video before Carnage leave. Yeah, but did you notice, Lennox Smith, that Carnage is absolutely, totally aware of that part of the country? There, Lennox Smith, what says Darwin, what it is Carnage is saying there, Lennox Smith?
Experience, as a teacher, experience is the best. Trainer is the best experience one can have, is the best piece of knowledge that one can have, and he's talking from personal experience, and therefore, of course, one has to listen. And I would think that people like him should be sought after by the authorities, simply because they do not know. He knows, and I've always said that, even in the context of how I treat
Tell them, Lennox. Andy, if a prime minister, a former prime minister, could stand up and say, here what it is. We have oil rigs in this part of the country and that part of the country, what are not being manned by Coast Guard, meaning that you're giving your friends or you're giving the enemy an opportunity to target them things. So when people hearing them kind of thing, them know it are no Coast Guard on there, Andy. Them know it are no Coast Guard on there, and these people and them interacting with we, the mingling between we. You understand? And the watching people, I don't know if the man owing them. I don't know what kind of relation the man have with them. But for them to leave their border and come over here and take the man and bring him back and put it on and put it up on Facebook for people, for the world to see. Andy, that tell a lot, Andy. That tell a lot, Trinidad and Tobago. So if my government, the Prime Minister, who I respect, who I just tell Trinidad and Tobago every day, give she a chance because she mean good to this country, I willing to work with Mama. I willing to work with the United National Congress to make betterment for my people and down on my coast. I willing to do that, Andy. Anytime. Call me anytime. I willing to work.
Yeah, man. That's the spirit.
That
many of us, of course, have grown to appreciate and deliver as well. Yeah. So
because
he's an expert in his own right, and therefore.
Right now,
look, Lennox saying something. Look, Lennox is saying something. Lennox, what it is you're saying?
I'm saying that he is speaking from experience, and therefore he's an expert in his own right. And this is the kind of persons who should be sought out by the authorities in order to assist before this thing gets out of hand. It may be a fire, but you never could tell. It could end up being a conflagration, which is a huge fire and spiral out of control. So before that occur, then I suppose people like him should be sought by the authorities to give them a heads up as to what the possibilities are and how to treat with the matter.
Andy, when any police will be holding a set of Spanish all in Europe, all over the place, still illegal people who come yesterday, people who come day before yesterday, people who here a little while, and they're holding them still. They're still using the borders and coming free. They still hope. That's why I tell people, and I say it again. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, Mr. Stuart Young, the situation that we are having in Trinidad and Tobago today with the Spanish and them, and the situation with Venezuela and America, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley and he and his bunch of thieves, they are the people responsible for what's taking place. They are the people responsible. And I find the police, I find the people in charge should be paying a lot of attention. Do something, make a move to show Trinidad and Tobago citizens that all they're doing all their work, because these people put in a situation that watch what taking place. Watch what it is taking place, Trinidad and Tobago. So if all you want to hear, well then they say who don't hear, that's feel. Right? And let me tell you something before I leave. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word turned to flesh and dwells amongst us. And if all you don't want to listen, well, boy, it's always not me. Everybody want to live. Everybody want to enjoy life. Kanachi and waiting, or you could call me anytime. Look to all and listen, brothers.
Wait, before you go, boy, I watching this thing over and over. You having that experience, please tell us. Right? Look at here, right? Listen to this. Tell us. You ought to tell us, boy. Because I believe that person not going to come back alive, whether they pay money or not. That person.
Yeah, well, Andy, that kind of money you're talking about, Andy, you talking about 2.5 million, Andy, US, Andy. Andy, when you do the mathematics of that kind of money, Andy, that is over $17 million. Even selfie family, well, we go see the link, we go see the link they have. We go see the link. Once he come up, we go see the link, and the whole world know what's going on. So we go see how much friends he have, and how much people he have. But I telling you, if they don't want he alone, they will take he and let his wife pay. If they don't want the wife alone, they will take she and let he pay. But the minute that they take both of them, and they're going with both of them, Andy, something, and here the kind of money they're calling for. So if you are nice friends, if you are big friends, it's 17 point something million in TT. So that to find that money, Andy, or negotiate with the people and them and do the right thing. And if it have intelligent Coast Guard and it have intelligent people on the water, that money, where feel that money going? That money going and pass right there and go down the road. Anytime they start to pay that money, it's right there in a boat that going down the road. Or they're going to tell them who to go by and get that money. They're going to tell them, give you the bag, give you the bag, I go give you a number, call that thing, what they pay all, you know what's going on now.
Because it happened already, where tremendous amount of money was paid to some Venezuelan kidnappers that had the hostages in Venezuela. And I think the end result of that was a bit of money was paid, but nobody was returned.
Lennox, I pocket money most of the time. You see this one here, Lennox? I say it again to Trinidad and Tobago. This is not a little one. This is a big, big one. You understand? And the bigger say, you ever see blood diamond? When the man see the diamond, so he bought a big one. Well, this is a big one. And they come home for him. They meet him on the water because he have water and thing, you know. They meet him on the water, you know. They went in his house, his comfort zone, and take him. And when they reach where they're supposed to reach now, they put it up on Facebook for the world to see and the family to see, well, look, we have him. And you see that blow, he blow there, Andy? You see that blow, he blow there?
All right, hold on. Let me analyze this right now. All right, I'll lay it around here. First, I seen a grenade in front of the chest, if you watch the screen. I seen a gun right here. There's a gun here earlier at his head. And I seen a gun at the wife head. Let me play there and tell me the... No, like this.
Andy.
Wait. But I ain't seen no gun at the wife head.
Yes. Now you look good now, man. You see now what you see now point. You see a piece of steel pointing straight to the wife head, and you look good now, man.
You see something like
something
like a small barrel, the barrel of a gun. You see
a long pistolero. So you see the barrel exactly. Watch it at the wife head. And which party is there? Which party and Madam is there? Where server is there, Andy? Besides the video right there, but he might be shitting himself all kind of thing right there with what he's seen in front of him. Because it's not two people come for he. Or not three people come for he. They come for he like a small army. That's how they separate and that's how that was tell Trinidad and Tobago and I'm telling this administration, don't play with them Spanish and them.
Them Spanish.
Mama, Mr. Kamala Prasad, don't play with them Spanish and them. You see, after what Rowley and them do they in 2018 and open the borders for cheap labor because the 1% and them tell them, come here for cheap labor and ball help in Venezuela because Venezuela in a crisis. And they only don't play with them people and them.
Credit is you. I think it was, we at one time she would have Miss Arima, and she was our Spanish interpreter at one time, and she would have warned us about the ungratefulness and the perfidious nature of those Spanish. Wherever they go, they breed and they capitalize and they parasite, and I'm seeing that manifesting even in these challenging volatile times.
All right, but before Canas go, Lennox Smith, let me play this thing, let me hear this thing, how it go, where Canas go, let us know what is this man and this woman's thinking at this point in time while he is pleading. Let's put that volume there now, and only please give us the opportunity to I see in debt. Just now, let me get this thing on. How to get this on, boy? How to get this on? Just now, day, boy. Our Canas interpret this day.
Bang, bang, bang. The Ground Report with Mikey K. and Andy Williams.
Smith.
Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
Brother Carnage,
Yes,
you
my
know
brother,
what
you
you're
still
saying
know
here.
them play.
Let me play this thing here, boy. Because partner,
Play
all
it,
I
man.
see
I only watching it. Play it. I want to hear. Play it.
and tell us, boy, we're going through that man mind, boy. Jesus Christ.
Robert, please. Dinero for muchacho, please. My life.
Yeah, you hear what he said? He calling on the family. Robert, please. Dinero for muchacho. Dinero is money. He calling please on the brother Robert, please. Dinero for muchacho. Please. My life.
No good, no good.
He was crying and trying to hold up that. He trying to hold up that and play stunner because he in front of the camera and play like he crying. Right now, madam, sorry to see she in that situation, but you see where she done like she just decide to give up. And I find she have a little kind of Spanish resemblance to me, you know?
I find she look African, red skin African. Let me hear this thing again, boy. Let me hear this again.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Robert, please. Dinero for muchacho, please. My life, wife. No good, no good, no good.
He said, Robert,
Nobody.
please. The exact words was, Robert, please.
Please.
Dinero for muchacho.
For muchacho.
My life.
My
My
life.
wife. Oh God, not good, no good. He said, no good, no good.
Yeah, no good, nobody, no good. So that alone tell you the story, Andy, brother. That alone tell you the story for years, brother Carnage has been telling all you. The reason why, and I will tell all you this morning again. If Dr. Keith Rowley and I still Trinidad and Tobago, when Mr. Movin, Augustus Manning, tell us, do not put those fellows in charge of the country. Otherwise, we will eat the bread the devil need with the foot. And watch what it is taking place now. Thank you again, Tobago, for not going and sitting in a community center and listen to no garbage and what you had to say after what you do the country.
All right.
Thank you again, Trinidad and Tobago, for giving the Honorable Prime Minister present a chance. If she had the money to pay, the back pay, she would have been paying it forthwith.
All right.
But because of what they did to the country, that is what we are facing right now. So we just have to give this administration a chance, and they will bring back the country. And Andy, the next thing I want to say before I go.
Before I go, I want to do this once more, boy, because, boy, first, I'll play with all the volume. Right, with all the volume to just peep gun. So this is the gun on the woman's head. This is the grenade by his chest. He blew. And then besides he blew, this is what he had to say. This is what that kidnapped victim had to say.
Robert, please. Dinero for muchacho, please. My life, wife. No good.
Oh God, boy. You say, oh God, boy, no good. His life, his wife.
Telling you that that's serious.
Yeah, but he did not mention for muchacho, the money for muchacho, 2.5 million. So how we know is 2.5 million was called?
How we know that? Ask his son.
But
And his son say he get a phone call.
obvious he can speak Spanish too.
And his son get a phone call. How you think it? And his son got a phone call, Andy.
And his son named Robert.
But I don't know if his son named Robert or his daughter named what. But ask his son, because his son will get a phone call. That phone, what is still have to do is trace back, see where that phone come, where that phone is, it has satellite, it has this, it has that. See, do the investigation and see.
Look, Premraj is saying that is acting. You believe that is acting, that man acting there?
Premraj said that.
Premraj say, Lennox Smith. Premraj say,
should have been in the position. We don't know, but acting is acting. You can afford to say that because it's not.
So Lennox Smith say, Premraj say that. Look, Premraj saying here, Lennox Smith. Premraj is saying that is acting. That man acting there. That is not real. That acting. What do you think, Lennox Smith? That acting?
Not me. I am of the firm view that that is real.
Hold on, Kana, you go tell me. I want to hear what Lennox had to say. The people want to hear what Lennox had to say. And then we go tell me what it is you had to say. Because Premraj is saying that is acting. That man acting that.
That's real, boy. That's real.
All right,
that's
so
real,
Lennox,
that's real.
what's your thoughts on that? You say?
That is real. That is real. That is real. That can be acting. He's a big man. I mean, a reputable guy, engaged in, of course, the boating industry, very active in the great race and all of that. He's going to act at that point in time, and of course, put his wife in that situation. So the wife acting too.
Oh my God. Yes, Karnats, go ahead. Premraj said that is acting. The man acting.
And Premraj had the opportunity to talk because he not in the man's shoes.
Oh,
so he could say what he wants. That acting. You don't see that kind of acting in Hollywood, Andy?
You don't see that kind of acting in
That
Hollywood?
reality there. That not no minority or no thing, you know. That not no sympathy there, you know. That reality. Right now we calling out for sympathy. You understand? You see how important sympathy is? But yeah, again, but what I want to say to Nathaniel,
but then Nathaniel is saying, don't be surprised what people will do to get money. So meaning he could be acting that to get money from his family, whoever is Robert.
Well, Andy, Andy, ever hear about the Tadier family, Andy? There must people with money, Andy. There must people that thing. So, and he is 70 years. And he is 70 years. He has heart problem. He have tumor in his head, all kind of thing. Andy, I don't know acting thing, Andy.
Okay.
I don't know acting thing. Remember the news last night say when the watching number is a foreign number, Andy. It's a foreign number. If you're in this country, you have this phone. Anytime you're in the next country, it's a foreign number. So if it's a foreign number, communicate with the brother. Remember the news says something, you know. And if a foreign number, communicate with the family and the... Come on, I don't know acting thing. When his son went in the house, which party father and his wife is, and when his son reached there, he meet the house ransacked and he meet all them things, he meet the place in a state. You understand?
All right, look, Zandu say the reason why he believes is acting is because if the kidnapper decide to open the grenade, he and all go blow up. So why he will have a grenade if he go blow up too?
Well, these people, when these people making this kind of gesture, they just wanted to know the seriousness side, Andy. These people not playing. Nobody are pointing no gun at your wife's head, and nobody are pointing no gun at your head. First the pointing thing at the man, they have a grenade at the man chest, and a gun in one time. That will be any acting thing. Well, I real acting. Well, if they acting, I real acting.
Oh Lord.
If they acting, well, that's a number one hit. That's a number one hit on the movie chart. That will be a number one hit. If that is acting. I know acting thing, Andy. You see a nice serious thing taking place there.
Yeah, the impact
but
of
what I
that
want to say,
really is to show how serious they are. And that the man is in a clear and present danger.
So,
and that they mean what they say. They come fully armed.
So what?
That's kind of big.
So what? So that place there where they do that video, It's not on the islands. They might be have them in Venezuela already then.
Well, the way asking me like that place, where they do that video, I don't know where they do the video, Andy. I not part and parcel of that. I feed in the country with information.
Hey, that no akin, you know. Me, I telling you, I and all seen. That man blow there, that blow is like he know he gonna dead, boy. I'm telling you, that man, if they get he back alive and that wife, I will be real shocked. Lennox, what you think? If they get back that man and his wife, you won't be shocked by? Even if the ransom
Yeah, I'll be shocked because it has happened already.
All right,
Where demands were made.
Kana, just the way you're breaking up. Right, last thing before you go. If they get back that man, because I don't believe it's hacking. That man blow there like he know he gonna dead. That wife head bend, like I watching this picture there and I seeing death. Death. Whether the family pay the money or not, I seeing death. Right? Where's the closing remarks? Do you believe that we're gonna see them alive again?
Well, for me to say that, Andy, the only show that could say that is if they pay the money. If they pay the money, well, they will get more information as the time goes.
Yeah, but it has situations where we know the kidnappers pay money, families pay money, and they still kill the people.
Well, he have real friends, Andy. He have big friends. He have big people. He have big friends. He have people. Them fellas and them is part of the 1%ers playing to good manners. Them fellas and them are friends. So if friends could come up with that 17 million, like chicken feed for them. Them could come up with that and pay that. Who knows? We could see him again. I would love to see him again because I accustomed going on all of that and where you are your operation. You guys? That right in Sharamas Day after I pass Alcan Day.
It's not a local exercise. It's a foreign exercise. Foreign would include, of course, our neighbor. Clearly, because they would have asked for Trinidad and Tobago money.
We say, Karnat?
Lennox, what I wanted to say before I go, right? Yesterday morning, I heard you talking something, right? And I want Trinidad and Tobago to understand that this administration, right? The now coming office, the 28th of this month, go make it 8 months in office, right? And they meet no money there, and they have to borrow money. They must borrow money. If we want to see a better Trinidad and Tobago, they have to borrow. They have to raise the ceiling at the borrowing. They must borrow money to make the country come back how it is. The former administration borrowed a lot of money, and what they did with it, God alone knows. God alone knows. So this administration, under the stewardship of Mr. Kamala Prasad Bisasa and Mr. David Tanko as the finance minister, they have to borrow money to make this country run good. So all who want to talk about this and that, all of them talking, they know Rowley and them do shit in this country. Sorry for the language. They know how Rowley and them lead this country, but they only accent. So how they going and get the money? Where they getting the money from?
We lost Carnage Day. Wait, boy, you're well breaking up. Carnage, you're well breaking up. Real bad. And we come and we lost your day. But we get the point. My brother, we get the point. I also want to say yesterday, Tabakit did call for Duke to do the honorable thing, and I saw Watson Duke do the honorable thing and supported Fali and say it's 15
that was
seats and
all
so those different type of thing.
Yeah, it was so gracious and realistic. But what does that spell? It spelled the total demise of the PNM in Tobago.
Oh, with Duke joining with Fali, you see the total demise.
Yeah, 15 none.
Whoa.
All the seats in Tobago will go to, of course, the TPP.
All right. Mr. Tabakit, it had two front burners on the thing there. Duke decided, he said that is just home talk between he and Fali. And then on top of that, the kidnapping of this person, who some people are saying that it's not real, that they're acting. That person is acting. What says thou, Mr. Tabakit?
First of all, let me say pleasant morning to the man, Andy Williams, the Pitbull. Yeah, new minted investigator on the international scene. Andy, you're doing a good job. And to my brother, the Englishman, brother Lennox, and to Michael Kerr, and to our dear beloved Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad, we say a pleasant morning.
Yeah, Lennox Smith, if you see Kabati go, you will continue talking or just doing something in the background there. You will always build on what it is ever Tabakita is saying, right? So I'll leave him to talk and don't leave it to get dead air. Go ahead, Mr. Tabakit.
Thank you.
So let me start to Lennox Smith. You go ahead.
Yes, let me start off with the Tobago issue first. I want to congratulate the Honorable Watson Duke. Yesterday, you're well aware, Lennox Smith, I made a deep clarion call here and call on brother Watson Duke to step away from the election and let Farley take on the PNM. Yeah, so I want to thank Watson Duke for hearing the clarion call and allow it to be a two-party race so we can once and for all put the final nail in the PNM coffin in Tobago. Because, Brother Lennox, you're well aware, is not penny because penny is a dead penny piece in the politics. It's really Stuart Young and Dr. Rowley is in control in the PNM in Tobago. So we know that will pan off itself on the 12th of January 2026. We will put the strongest curtail on the PNM. As the Indian philosophy say, we're going to put them in Banwas, and Banwas is in the political cemetery. Bye-bye, PNM. We go send you back. A guy like want you, you're gone. Lennox, let me touch a bit on this kidnapping. I want to be very careful what I have to say here. I've been listening to Brother Karanaj, and I want to say this very respectively. There is more question than answers here. Brother Lennox and Andy, let Tabakit repeat. With this TDA family and the Shagaramas and the kidnapping and what we're seeing played off live on social media, there is more question than answer. I don't know that anybody going to kidnap anybody like that and make a video. Track me, Lennox and Andy. Track me as I talk. Will make a video holding a grenade and gun to people's head. I'm telling you, there is more question than answer. I am saying here, something is not right under the sun. I do not want to give my tongue liberty, but I'm saying, when you play with puppies, you will be bitten by the fleas. And let me repeat, when you play with puppies, you will be bitten by the fleas. We well aware that right now, no trading in terms of drugs and guns and running on the high sea can take place. And all those who is involved with the underworld, Lennox, let me repeat this, all those who is involved with the underworld and anything they try, they could lose their life. Again, I am not pointing fingers. I am not making any allegation. But something, and I'm saying this out loud now, something ain't right. Because I trying to ask myself the question. As a 2x4 investigator, and when I say a 2x4 investigator, Lennox, you know what I mean? How you would make a video and how they know to make that video to put it out on social media with grenades and guns. I am saying I want to be very careful what I say because I don't want the investigators to come for me. There is more question than answers. There is an old saying, the underworld, the fuel mainstream economy. And I'm saying here, something right in the world of Jerusalem. Lennox, can I ask you a question, please?
Certainly, my friend. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
I want to ask you something. You're familiar with the system? There is submarine still roam our waters. I don't want to put you in the spot, but you could answer this.
I have had indications, yes, and information.
Right. Very well. And what I'm trying to do is tying certain things. And on that part of the peninsula, in Trinidad and Tobago, and where you have all those boats docking and all this thing, I am saying, the TTPS, the Coast Guard, and now we have the American on our shores. And Lennox, don't forget something here. Remember, we have a fresh minted radar just went up, picking up all the coastal area. People forgetting that, you know. We have a state-of-the-art radar that is picking up all the coastal area and right up the islands and the Caribbean. I do not want to say anything more on that.
Oh boy, you say you don't want to say anything more than that. Oh boy, Lennox Smith again.
Like
Well, two front burners, Watson Duke. Guys were talking. Plus, besides Watson Duke,
Andy,
Lennox Smith, they're also talking about the kidnapping of these two people and saying it's Venezuelans, and these two people, well, some people saying they're acting, some people saying they're dead, some people saying that if the family pay the ransom, they're still going on dead. Some people saying the video was not made in Trinidad and Tobago, them people off Trinidad and Tobago waters already. Some people saying this is a 1% and that family have money. And Robert, please, my life, my wife, please, serious, it's very serious. Lennox, you gotta give me at least 10 minutes. Right, you go ahead, give me 10 minutes while I just fixing something here. I'm not taking no more calls. You go ahead, Lennox Smith, and give us another headlines when you determine those two things there, Duke, this, and give us a next headliners that is going, including today's parliament, where the government going and do certain things and put certain things in place. Go ahead, Lennox Smith. You have to give me 10 minutes here. You have to give me a late time. Let me just fix this thing in the back here.
Not a problem. Whilst, of course, we were engaged in this discussion, I was looking at precedent for this kind of development, and this has taken me back, I think, to 2019, when, of course, several fishermen were kidnapped by allegedly by Venezuelan pirates, and I'm seeing some huge guns at the heads of these individuals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll try to put it up on the screen momentarily so that you'll see what I'm talking about. So I had to put on my forensic, or should I say my criminalistic training on this one. And of course, a person like myself will obviously be looking for precedent, meaning that what transpired before. And then, of course, you have something what is called modus operandi, method of operation. And this seems to be stereotypical of the Venezuelans, kidnappers, or the pirates, as in this particular case it was called. I think this one ended up successfully. I think the fishermen were returned. So I am hoping that having regard to that information, that there may well be the possibility that once the ransom is paid, or some negotiated reasonable position would have been taken on either side, that the lives of those persons kidnapped yesterday will be saved. So I could only go based on what we know. None of us have a crystal ball, nor do we pretend to be having abilities similar to that of knowing everything. And the only person I know that has that capacity is Jesus Christ. And therefore, we could only base on the evidence that we would have had. That is why, of course, the courts use what is called precedent to develop what is called case law. Well, of course, in this particular case, I had to go back to 2019 when some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fishermen were kidnapped by then was called pirates, and I've seen some huge guns. So that it appears that is the approach, that is the way that they do things when they want to engage in their nefarious acts. In this case, of course, is the kidnapping for ransom of the family, or should I say the man and woman, the husband and wife on Monas Island. I also have, of course, I took the liberty to look at the map of Trinidad and Trinidad, yes, in relation to Venezuela and that peninsula, the northwestern peninsula, which of course juts out to Venezuela, and the Venezuela jutting eastwards to Trinidad, and then of course the Dragon's Mouth, and where actually Monas Island is located. And what I've noticed is that Monas Island would have been closer to the peninsula or the mainland of Trinidad than even Shaka Shakari. And I noted as well what Mr. Carnage would have said, the proximity of the Army and the Coast Guard bases in Trinidad, and one wonders whether or not some kind of alarm could have been raised having regard to the proximity. But nonetheless, it is in reality a huge body of water that separates Monas Island from that of the mainland of Trinidad, jutting into, of course, the Bocas, what we call the Bocas, and then, of course, beyond that, moving westward, yes, you will see Shaka Shakari, and then after that, the Bocas, and then, of course, further to that, going further west, you will see, of course, the peninsula of Venezuela. But very interestingly, a number of communities seem to be on the coastline of that piece of land that is on the Venezuelan side. I see a place called Don Pedro. Then, of course, that is facing, let's say, further west. But the piece that I think, the community that I think is important is one called Macuro. Yeah, Macuro, which is facing Trinidad. And one would have expected that if it is that they are coming to Trinidad and onto that island to do what they did, then maybe the suspects or the kidnappers would have come from Macuro, which of course is closest village to Trinidad, on the peninsula that juts to make eastwards to make what is called the Bocas between Trinidad and Tobago. So it was important, of course, to just study that preliminarily, and to, of course, share that with you, because it's important that for us to understand what is at play, having regard to the fact of the volatility of the present circumstance. Remember, of course, that there is some kind of there is a tension between Trinidad and Tobago, and there is something called copycatism, where people would take it upon themselves to say, well, Trinidad playing bad, but all right, I'm a Venezuelan, and of course the propaganda in Venezuela is that Trinidad is wishing for the decimation of Venezuela. So people may well find it appropriate and in a fit of what I consider to be jingoism or ultra patriotism to send a message, or it may well just be simply gangsters or criminals who have decided to seek a soft target, and that island is there all alone on its own. The Coast Guard, the military, the police, law enforcement will not be able to reach that place unless they take some kind of marine vessel. And so they have pounced on the family. Maybe it may be, as one suggestion seemed to be, is that there may be some kind of knowledge, some kind of information, and having regard to the fact that the Americans are making it very difficult for persons to traverse that area with any kind of contraband. It may be as a consequence, because I find that sum that is asked for is pretty steep. So there may be information among the assailants that these people have money, obviously, and as a consequence, that sum seem to be one that is reasonable and that the victims could afford, whosoever it is, maybe family, etc. So there may be some familiarity element associated with that exercise or that kidnapping as well. So it's a pretty early days still, but I thought it was important to of course, share that with you so that we have a fair idea as to what we are dealing with. Let me see if I get it on the screen and the back of me. I think we have that capability these days. Let me see if I can get it, and certainly I will share it with you, what I've just said, so that you have a physical appreciation as to what we are looking at and what the physical things at play and what we are engaged in. Let me make sure and see if I can get it on. That will be lovely if I can get it. All right, let's see. Kidnap. All right. Oh, well, I ain't got it yet. Not yet. Trying to get the technology going. See, the place has gone dark on my side. But let me just check again and see if I can get it. No, wrong report. All right. I'll have to check again. Let me see. Yes. I think I get it. Right, good. I think I get it there. Yeah. So we have, of course, that's the article that I read earlier. I read from earlier, where in 2019, this was the family that these are the individuals that got kidnapped by what was called pirates. Let me just at that time. So I think you might be seeing it now. Some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals, but watch in the background, just as this particular incident as well, where in the background you're seeing these huge guns pointing at them, at the head. Of course, it is designed to intimidate. It's designed to frighten, clearly. And I think the same modus operandi has taken place in this particular case, where a grenade and a gun is at play to, of course, intimidate and to generate what I consider to be the trepidation of the victims. So there you have it. You're seeing it live, of course, on the ground report. Only the ground report will have the technology and the wherewithal to, of course, bring it practical to you. Let me see if I get the map now to sort of crystallize this entire exercise as to the physical, should I say, setup or set out that would have caused the kidnappers to reach Trinidad, and at the same time, all right, let me see. All right, yes, there we have it. So we have the map as well. I'm going to just make it a little larger now. Let me move myself this way. All right, so we get a bigger map. All right, so here we have it. Yes, I think we could. Right, so we have a bigger map there, but it's more than that. I want to show you further up. You will see, of course, Trinidad here, and of course, look, Venezuela across here. I will mark it off in a while, just for those of you who are familiar with Trinidad in relation to Venezuela. So that is the Bocas, or the Dragon's Mouth, as it is called. Monas is the closest island to the peninsula there, and then, of course, to zero in, You see Monas there, closest to the peninsula on my right, should be on your left, I suppose. And then, of course, Venezuela out here. I'll mark it out in a while. And then, of course, a map showing the proximity of both peninsulas, the northwestern peninsula of Trinidad, and of course the eastern peninsula of Venezuela, jutting out to form what we know as the Dragon's Mouth, or the Bocas, as some people would like to call it. Let me see if I can now do the magic of actually pinpointing. Let me see, pinpointing what we are looking at. All right, so let me see if I could do that. All right, so here we go. All right, I'll have a sort of I'll have a green, I have a blue marker, and what we'll do is look at it in totality now and see if we could make some sense of what is happening there. All right, so here we have it. Here we have let me make sure. Here we have the map of Trinidad there, and of course just around here, so I'm marking it off now, just around here is the Bocas. So you're seeing it there. So let me make that map a little bigger, boy. Let me make that map a little bigger. So that we could see more. All right, let's make it a little bigger. Let me make it a little bigger. Just a minute. You try using the technology, so just bear with me. Yeah, so we have the map. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to get the map right. Okay, get the map. Bram. So the map a little bigger there, so I can move myself away from that. Right, good. All right, so let me just get back to the. All right, let me just rub off that blueprint that I. Right. So, all right, I think that is a bigger map. So here it is. Oh no, you can't see it. All right, so you can see it now. So here it is. We have the situation where just about here is the Bocas. Right, so here the Bocas. Venezuela, let me put a different color. Venezuela, putting it in green. Venezuela is over here. That green too light. Let me remove that. That green too light. Yeah. Let me remove that. Right. Let me get a different color. So we'll use the marker, but we'll put a different color to make sure that it's different. Let me put a red. All right. So here is Venezuela. And of course, across here is Trinidad. All right. So Trinidad is across here. I trust that you are seeing. So you're seeing that. Let me do it, and let me move it to do it live. Right. So there we have it. So we have a. Once again, let me just see. Trinidad is here. That's the peninsula, and of course, the Venezuelan peninsula is here. All right. Venezuelan peninsula is here. And of course, in the middle there is the Bocas. Let me just put it in blue. All right, so Bocas here. All right. In a little while, I will show you Monas Island as well, but I'm sure that you are getting the gist of what we are trying to say. Of course, in between here, let me just put that in a different color so you'll get an appreciation. What we will put that in? Let's put a little orange-ish. Yeah, so here will be the Bocas. Not the Gulf of Paria. So here's the Gulf of Paria, all right? Gulf of Paria. Gulf of Paria there. And of course, as I said, up on top, on the left side, my left is the Venezuelan Peninsula. Then, of course, the Trinidad and Tobago Peninsula. And in a moment, I will display a map showing the Monas Island. Let me just rub off all of that. Right. So we get back to square one. Again, we have here is Trinidad, Venezuela across here, just to make sure. And of course, the water, the body of water that separates us is called the Dragon's Mouth. And there you have it, which is, of course, considered to be the Bocas as well. All right, so I trust that that does justice to an appreciation as to what is happening. Of course, down here, we have the Gulf of Paria, that body of water largely between Trinidad and Venezuela. Of course, there are maritime and other boundaries that has been established a long time ago in the appropriate international fora or forum, where, of course, these matters have been settled. So we know which part, where our fishermen can go and where Venezuelans have to stop before they enter into Trinidad and Tobago's waters. So that's that part of it. Let me just get down to the other map, which will show it a little more, give a little more details. So you will see a little more details here. Yeah, you see a little more detail here, where, of course, in this map here, so there's another map that we have. Let me just rub off the right. All right. So here we have it. And Monas Island, where is Monas Island? Monas Island is here. Look at here. Monas Island, close to Trinidad. This is the mainland here, where the army and so on and the Coast Guard is, and Carnage is just around the corner here. So here is Trinidad here, jutting out into the sea, the northwestern peninsula. Here is Monas Island, and of course the other island, let me just put it in a different color. The other island is, of course, Shaka Shakari. This is Shaka Shakari here. So Monas Island is closer to the mainland of Trinidad than that of Shaka Shakari. And of course, let me put another color to show where Venezuela is. And Venezuela is, of course, here. This is Venezuela here in the yellow that I'm using now. All right. The closest tongue, as I said, there's this tongue here. It could be that they came and had to travel all the way around in order to get there. Or maybe they came on land and come across, which is difficult because it is mountainous. So it can't be that they would have used the waters in order to get to Monas Island. But there's a tongue right here. Let me just put another color. There's a tongue that is right around here. I'll get the name for you in a while. But facing Trinidad, that they could have easily, of course, used in order to get to Monas Island. Right? So I suppose that is where we are in terms of the geography and the logistics that would have been used in order to make good that act and to have them escape without being detected by our law enforcement or anybody. Once again, most likely, for my estimation, in order to have traveled, it is said that the shortest distance between 2 points is what? A straight line. So most likely, I believe that they would have come from, the assailants would have come from a town not too far here and then travel across the Bocas, get around Shaka Shakari, which is here. Shaka Shakari is here. And then, of course, get to Monas Island. right? Trinidad, of course, the northwestern peninsula is here, is here. Yes, northwestern peninsula. That is it. That is jotted out there, right? That is what is jotted out there. So essentially, we are working the case right here on the ground report, people. Andy gave me 10 minutes, so I thought I should utilize it and utilize, of course, the technology in order to give some kind of assessment as to the fact that it was very either easy or difficult for them to leave Venezuela, get to Monas Island undetected, and then get back to Venezuela, and from there, of course, issue the technology is such that they could issue, load it up on Facebook or any one of the social platforms in order to, of course, alert Trinidad and Tobago and the world that a kidnapping has taken place in Trinidad by certain elements. But once again, I'm saying that the modus operandi, so we are pretty thorough. The modus operandi is one where that is what they will do. Massive armament, meaning that they arm themselves with a very, what I consider to be sophisticated and mass endangerment weapons, as you saw, of course, with the 5 kidnapped victims, and you see all that machine gun and so on, huge nozzles. Well, of course, in this case, what we have is a hand grenade and, of course, shotgun of some type as well, or some rifle of some type. So that's it, dear people. I thought it was important, of course, for us to treat with that matter and to, of course, let you get a physical appreciation as to what was the possibility, what transpired. And of course, what's the next map we have? Well, of course, this is just to show how close Trinidad is to Venezuela. And let me just point out the tongue that I'm referring to here that they may have come from. This is the, let me just, yes. This tongue here is the closest facing Trinidad. I suspect this is the place that they would logically come from, and then of course come across the Bocas onto the island and make good their escape or their nefarious act. It could be as well. They could have come from another point, and this is another tongue here facing Trinidad. But in situations like these, people would want to take the easiest route out so as to escape as quickly as possible. It's not as if it is on land, but certainly they would have been aware that that the Americans will be in the vicinity, but I'm sure that they would have camouflaged or disguised their activity as being ordinary fisher folk, because we have seen that ordinary fisher folk have not been targeted, and only pirogues and other sea vessels would have been targeted because their cargo was very visible, and of course their technology to even identify the chemical composition of these items, and therefore with a high degree of certainty that they would have been eliminated, as opposed to, of course, if you apply the technology to, let's say, fish, and you could have a lot of it, whether in barrels on the boat or just on the floor of the boat, so to speak. The technology will detect that they are really fish and not, of course, anything that is contraband that the Americans are concerned about and are in this part of the region to eliminate. So there you have it, people. Only once again on the ground report, I want to thank Andy, of course, for giving me the opportunity to, of course, explain and to give a physical presentation so that you are better informed, because this is what the ground report is all about. Better informed as to developments that take place in Trinidad and Tobago, which we may be mysterious. Well, we want to eliminate the mystery, right, or the enigma that is associated by some people believing that they are the repository of all information. After you see this, certainly you will have a visual idea as to what was possible and whether or not you will take on board what we said, as opposed to other persons who will not go to that distance or that length in order to demonstrate it to you for understanding purposes what may have transpired. We don't have the facts, but certainly we could say that the possibility that the kidnappers came from here, Munas Island is around here, and therefore they would have done their exercise, and they may still be somewhere around, but there's a lot of mountainous, there's a mountainous region all along here in the peninsula. So let me see. Oh no, not here. Let me just rub that off. This is Trinidad here. I'm not talking about Trinidad, talking about Venezuela now. So in Venezuela, you may have this mountainous region here. Right, the mountainous region here. Right? So the tongue on the other side of this peninsula, it's very unlikely that they would have come from there, because criminals love to get the easiest route and the easiest escape. However, they also know, clearly they would have known that no Coast Guard from Trinidad, no army, no police will venture to follow them into Venezuelan waters to retrieve anything at all, including, of course, human beings. It will have to be negotiated. So I have taken the argument another dimension, because their intelligence, their common sense will tell them that once they use that course, that the Coast Guard in Trinidad will not interfere. They didn't even, I suppose they are assuming that they wouldn't even come out because of the vitriolic and the bellicose language across the Gulf of Paria between Caracas and the Port of Spain. And therefore, it was an appropriate opportunity to engage. And as I said, there's another dimension that another caller would have introduced to the discussion, and that is, it may well be as a consequence of some kind of contraband, some kind of drugs that may be involved, and people, because it's difficult for people to ply their trade, their illicit trade, that this situation may have evolved as a consequence. All of that is part and parcel. We are not casting any aspersion in that regard on anyone, but we are not naive, and ought not to be naive not to think that that is a possibility. All right, that is a possibility. So people, until Andy gives me the signal that, of course, he's ready, I think we would have made our presentation and our argument very firmly, and I'm sure that you have a better idea as to what was the possibility and how logical or illogical it is for the assailants to have come from the Venezuelan, or should I say the South American mainland, and the closest, of course, country to us than even Tobago is that of Venezuela, right? So having regard to all of these circumstances, so let's not waste time. And of course, as I said, if you're looking at that kind of hand grenade, guns and so on, we showed you where in the past that was used to kidnap Trinidad and Tobago fishermen. And of course, in that particular case, I think the fishermen were returned unharmed, battered and probably bruised, but unharmed, after, of course, a ransom was paid. So it may well be another dimension. It may well be the same people who got it easy on the last occasion, probably see it easier now and decide to go for bigger fish, right? As I said, having regard to all of the other circumstances. All right, people, so that being as it may, let me go on to maybe some other stories that are making the news now that we have almost exhausted. I wouldn't say exhausted, because I'm sure that there are other aspects of this development that has not yet been revealed, right? So the article is, right, couples snatched from Monas Island home, $2.5 million ransom demanded. Yes. All right, so that's that. What are the other developments? Of course, as we said, Watson Duke has capitulated. He has said that he will not contest the January 12th THA elections. That's a good sign. I think it was a wonderful strategy, but also extending, of course, our olive branch. It cannot be a deception, so you can't say it's a fig leaf, but certainly an olive branch. And it speaks volumes as to the bending of what might have been a very, should I say, antagonistic relationship between himself and that of Fali, having regard to all of the circumstance and all of the antecedent that preceded that decision. So well done, Watson Duke. And I'm saying so because I believe we have the authority so to do. You would recall that in the last elections, and I think we will be making some kind of overture to Fali now that we know is a one-party race, but that will not prevent the PNM from trying, even though, of course, they have dumped Dr. Rowley, having regard to the sparse attendance, if at all, to his call for what? For some kind of conversation with him. I don't know who the hell he thinks he is. He is nothing at this point in time, politically, and in my view, otherwise.
Nice. But, so what we're going to do, Lennox Smith, while I'm back, is just open the lines. Right, we're going to open the lines. We'll play some voice notes and we're going to take your calls. You all heard all the front burners, all what is trending. So now we would like to know what's it now. Right, we have a limited minimum time to really and truly give everybody a chance. So I will be very strict on time today. Everybody have no more than 1 minute and a half because it's about 35 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And we want to hear everybody. Okay?
We have about
so everybody have a minute and a half. No more than a minute and a half. Please. Right? The lines are open. Go ahead, caller.
Well, Uncle Lennox, Mikey, and Trinidad.
You work on magic today, Mr. Faisabad. 1 minute and a half, everybody have. We really run out of time.
Yeah, all I just want to invite everybody to Faisabad this evening for 6 o'clock to come and hear the children and them of the nation and the young youths it bringing back some love and Christmas spirit from the Erie Presbyterian, the Faisabad Presbyterian, the Pepperville Government, and the Avocat Village, and to see how true activists of the UNC, there's work, that human service that they put together to bring a little happiness to the constituency. So when activists is talking about doing, activists is to make sure that when they go up and they help the party win, is to make sure others benefit and be helped and to upliftment in the constituency. So I invited them to come this evening for 6 o'clock. And if they work with a little sausage in a pan to make a little donation for non-perishable goods item, to make up a little hamper to help those families in the constituency to give them a little joy and happiness. Thank you, Andy, because I wanted to talk about the murder and the killing.
Yeah,
and police are doing nothing. Have a nice day.
Jump in the murder.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much, of course. And you are doing human service on that side of the country. And I want to say all of it was voluntary. And that speaks volumes as to the direction in which Trinidad and Tobago has to go. We must have all hands on board wherever we are and whatever station in life we are at this point in time. So we must help our country. We have another call.
Andy, what I'm the wrong report.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to everybody who's on the line. Andy, listen to this. I was going through Facebook and thing this morning.
I'm going to take that call. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you, KFC. Go ahead. KFC, go ahead.
Hey, hello, good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Andy, I like on it. The top here, one on it, but yellow is the code. But Andy, you see that video you was saying there, must say good morning to brother Carnage. You see them Spanish and them? We not playing with them Spanish and them. Because you see what they're doing in Grenada, in Guyana, they? We can't trust them Spanish and them. Them come in here, roaming the streets, the crime going up. The Prime Minister, the President sending threat to the Honorable Prime Minister. We can't trust them Spanish and them, Andy. That is the start there, you know. We have to watch them because it's real terrorists and serious Spanish to come here, you know. All them Spanish, after 18 years, they're in the military there, you know. Don't get up with them Spanish and them. I don't like them. They don't go back home. They eat more than me. They walk in the streets. When they walk in, they don't want to pass on the pavement and all them kind of thing. So, Andy, I look to listening and I'm out. I like the color you have on the yellow is the code. Lennox!
Go ahead, next caller.
Yeah, man.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Lennox, I just want to speculate. Remember that constable named Ansel Salvary, who disappeared mysteriously after a drug bust on Monos Island? I sure remember that incident with Salvary. Since then, we never hear Monos come in the spotlight where they're making big drug busts again. Right? But I strongly suspect that Monos is a funnel for bringing drugs here because the Venezuelans ain't have to come on the mainland. They could drop off their drugs there and somebody from the island could pick it up and bring it here legally. Trinidadian could bring it on the boat legally. And that, I don't want to say the man involved, but I remember just a couple of weeks ago, they make a big drug bust in Tobago where somebody was carrying drugs, supposedly just somewhere in Europe. And if I ain't wrong, the amount of money was $0.5 million. Drugs just move by consignment, and when it change hands, people just pay. And when them sell it, they get more money. And when it sell out again, the people get more money. If whoever send that drugs and it reach Tobago to move to England, and them people ain't get paid, they don't wait till the drugs reach England, you know. Money just change hands at each transaction point. If them people ain't get the money, they're going to get it back because they don't pass on the drugs already. I just putting that out for people, and I don't want to speculate. I'm sorry for the man and the wife, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but we have to read between the lines what's going on with this cocaine trade.
Yeah, but some it have people that saying that is a fake, that whole scene with gun to head and grenade to chest and thing, they say that is a fake. Do you believe that man
I don't want to say it's a fake. I don't want to say that fake because if the Venezuelan pass on drugs, you know, if I'm not saying they pass on drugs to he, but if they pass on drugs and the drugs get seized in Tobago, the people in Trinidad or whoever who take the drugs still have to pay them. They make about what went on in Tobago. They still have to pay them. and they will get the money by any means necessary. Remember when they make a big drug bust down, I think it's down one of the island self, and they seize tens of millions of dollars worth in drugs. A man lost his head, and the news was that his head went up in Colombia. I don't want to call anybody. They couldn't find his head. They find the body eventually, but he headed up in Colombia.
Yeah, I remember that very distinctly. Yeah.
Yes. This is how they operate, partner. They want the money.
Right, but the next time you call, we don't call we to talk and eat. You never hear talking and eating at the same time is bad manners. I show
Andy,
you
I
to see man, and my grandmother always tell me talking
Andy,
and eating at the same time is bad manners. My grandmother always tell me that. She used to ring my ears.
I apologize, Andy. But I didn't see you eating on the TV too. So don't jump on me alone.
All right. Sorry, sir. Sorry, partner.
All right, Andy. Take care.
Were you talking when you take a break to eat? I have not seen that.
The man, he say he see me eat by this, but he told on the apple and thing, but what I go say? The man, he get back his. Don't tell me to don't do that if I just see you on the TV doing that, Andy. So, what I go say? What I go say? Tom Ford say, oh, lad, you're right. Oh, my lad. And as COP they say, that he copyright, he make a next million. We, Papa. Morning caller.
Hello, good morning to each and everyone.
Good morning.
The cocaine trade in Trinidad and Tobago and South America is a massive thing. A matter of fact, it is already known that here what happening. Now they don't call it the GDP, but the cash raised by these cocaine dealers and so forth is higher than almost all the economy in the Caribbean, right? So basically, this is why I keep on telling people, why are we, the Americans said they're here for that. Why are we so against it? You feel any government by themselves in the Caribbean could stand up against the cocaine trade? People will have to be delusional to think that, right? And I'm really sorry for the Batadia family in relation to what happened there, and I just hope that they could get back safely, right? But next thing also, before my time run out, a lot of people talking about Venezuelans and they class everybody as the same thing, and I feel that is not feel. I know that is wrong, right? Because there are those that come here and work hard, and there are those that are from day one involved in skullduggery, and you have to be careful. And this is why I'm saying the previous government should have properly documented these people from the first day that they recognized that certain things was happening, right? And now we are in a hole and trying to dig ourselves out. Right? Take care, Andy, and everybody else.
Thank you for your contribution, caller.
Make a lot of sense.
I have a comeback.
The floodgate was open, man.
Yes, I have a comeback for that. I have a comeback for that, gentlemen, one time. I have a comeback. Semantics give me a comeback. Gentlemen, I still saying don't talk and eat. Because yes, I just be eating as Semantics 62 say. But Andy, when you are eating, you are not talking at the same time. And that is truth. I don't eat and talk at the same time, partner. I just be quiet when I eat. And sometimes Lennox is doing the talking or calls or you all callers contributing and I quiet. I don't.
So you take this man's observation and he ain't take mine. All right, okay. That means you wasn't listening.
Wait, tell me. Let me.
I did say that when you are eating, you're not talking.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's not the same situation.
Yes.
But that's all right. That's all right. Semantics. You take the credit.
Nice. No. Both Semantics and Lennox. And as I say, let me bang for that one.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang.
Nice. Let me continue. Oh boy, the lines are real busy. Let me play. I think it's one voice note I have this so far. and I have a busman voice note. I see like busman send a voice note. Let me take a call real quick. Morning. Well, let me make it short and sweet. A voice note. So me, know if you go and say the radar thing. Remember, we wanted to get busman the work to man the borders. A busman had that work. No way the Venezuela would have reached in to kidnap them two people there. Because busman would have see it. Busman would have tell me early. Hey,
you're like a Martian.
Daddy Boss Marco, he does see that. The government had to give you a work, not a Boss Marco boss. He could be a raider for United States of America on the coast. When Bossman touched down, his pothole, his bus, his bush, his mosquito. What's my that man is a raider for everything. Go ahead, caller.
And me, Mighty Kerr, Lennox, and Tobago Central here. Pleasant, good morning.
You had to try to make it short and sweet. Yeah.
Right? So, Andy, just to let we people know, our Trinidadians and our present government, we would like them to know no Venezuelan name is good. None whatsoever. You understand what we're saying? We need from the child will now come up with a mother womb from a Venezuelan, pack up all your garbage and garbage bag, and look your head back down. So, we ain't making no joke. Because the end of the day, all they see, all they take it on their eyes, all they see what happens with we people and them, we're going through that. Yeah? So what we have to say from Trinidad and Tobago, Easter Vista, muchas gracias. Yeah? And Andy, let's remember we are one people, one nation, one law. Unity will always be the code. Yellow will always be the code. Look and listen. And it's that.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, let me take the next.
Good morning, Andy, Leonard Smith, and to the rest of the people listening to the Ground Report program. I want to say that the quality of the performance of the government from April 28, 2025 to the present is extremely poor. It is woeful, it is calamitous, it is disastrous. Let me tell you something. Friday gone, there was no Port of Spain bus from the San Fernando terminal for several hours. Only when a passenger who was stuck there waiting decided to write PTSD. Then they sent a 2 o'clock Port of Spain bus in the afternoon and a 4 o'clock Port of Spain bus. Why? Why people have to be complaining about bad treatment to get better service in this country? Look how long this government is in power and they can't fix one bloody bus service. And then the San Fernando bus terminal has a shortage of buses. Every day, 3 buses attached to San Fernando break down and have to go to be repaired. And as a result, several routes cannot be operated. This is happening for too long. People are buying tickets, they're being scammed because they're not getting buses. And then what is happening too? They have certain routes like Port of Spain, Faizabad, Port of Spain, Siparia, Port of Spain, Princestown, UNC areas that have government workers. Those buses are usually operate, but I see lately they're starting to give trouble. They're becoming few and far between now. And what is upsetting, when those routes fail, they just come into the San Fernando terminal, take a bus that's supposed to go down and use it in those areas. Why? Why are you doing that? You would think that the main route between San Fernando and Port of Spain is supposed to be fully operational, but that has not been happening. There is no schedule for the Port of Spain bus. One day the bus come in 6 o'clock, next day it can't till 6 o'clock, next day it come 9 o'clock, next day you don't see it at all. Govern the country, that is what people put all your there for. It is, I have never seen my country sink to the lowest nadir, right, where several things need addressing. Apart from the bus service, you have a lot of street lights that are not working, grass that needs cutting, a lot of rats infestation of mosquitoes. Vagrancy has not been addressed. And I could go on and on and on and on. But coming back to the bus service, you know, most of the buses that go Port of Spain are down and they're waiting on parts. PTSC are no foreign exchange or buy parts to fix the buses. And then this Minister of Transport, Zaku, talking about buying electric buses. Them is stupid buses. You know how long the charge lasts in those things? The amount of traffic we have on the highway, when those buses going up to Port of Spain, they're going to run out of charge. Why the bus service cannot be fixed? And you all studying this conflict between USA and Venezuela, and several issues here are not being addressed. You know when your vehicle has a broken tail light, a fender that is falling off, or smooth tires, it will fail inspection. Police will give you a ticket, right, for simple defects in your cars, right? And you have to pay thousands of dollars. You know not one bus in the PTSC could pass the inspection. Buses have smooth tires. The bumpers falling off. Some of them have a lot of holes, they're leaking. The headlights have mold, right? And yet these things continue to operate on the road and nobody charging the government, but they're charging you for defects.
Nice. Let me just take a little call there. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning, Andy. I want to call back and reply to Bossman. Bossman talking about the 20th of April. Bossman and no Sukai buy a set of bus pass that we can use. And Sukai buy a set of...
Go ahead, you're done?
No, sorry.
Don't worry, back wrong.
Yeah. And he buy the parts from Sukai Diesel. And the parts can't work on the bus. So how the hell they want them to fix the bus if they're buying parts that not working on the bus? That happened on the 20th. That happened before. And Sukai was part of the PNM. Let the PNM explain why the parts, they have millions. If I'm wrong, I think it's $80 million in parts that they can't use. And they want them to fix the bus with what? By magic? Le Bossman, according to one of your fellas, Le Bossman whole, yes?
Wow.
But remind me, like they have this $80 million waste mark. Because of course the same thing happens with expired drugs.
Bossman get put in place.
In the warehouse,
in your vehicles. The only thing that they make sure that working in the vehicles is brakes. And I see, as of recent times, some of the buses, when the drivers mashing brakes, the bus is rolling, because the brakes is failing. I want to say that I am totally disappointed and dissatisfied with the performance of this new administration. We minding everybody business, right? We want to see Venezuela go down and deteriorate because USA going to invade them, right? And yet, now we can fix our own country. Give PTSC 6 months again, and it will have no buses in this country. You can't use pocket change to wait on a bus because it will not come. It will not come. And this government is so senseless. They have a few buses, they overworking them, and eventually they go break down. They go break down. Every day you drive on the highway, you always see a bus shutting down. Right? The double bus between San Fernando and Port of Spain has been down. nobody could fix the bus because the bus cutting off regularly, it shut down, and parts have to be ordered. Another big Port of Spain bus is also down. How long will this stupidness continue? Govern the country.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Trinity Tobago. Good morning to everybody who's on the line. Andy, listen to this. I was going through Facebook and thing this morning, and I saw where CPEP has lost the keys, and they have to pay back the government, right? They have to pay back the government and the CPEP money or some kind of thing like that I saw, right, this morning on Facebook. But Andy, you know what's interesting? Remember Faris Al-Rawi? I think it was 1.4 million or something, so billion or something, so with the CPAP matter. I didn't understand that case, the amount of money is so good, but I think it's for 1.4 billion or 1.4 million, right? That was alleged corruption activities in CPAP. I know that they lose the keys, right? But here is the next thing that I'm looking at. You see that Balize house down Chagaruju down there? I hope the government making moves, right, to investigate that thoroughly, right, and to find out exactly where the former administration get that kind of money to build that tower of Babel down there, you know. Because these people and them have to answer. They have to answer. All you can do that to taxpayers. All you can do that to taxpayers. And all you can walk away free. You understand? Because I remember when the former Prime Minister first came into office, I remember his comment, well, you know, he said that there was owing the bank and them some kind of, I think was $4 million or some kind of thing so. But I remember it was a comment, something like that he made. So if all he was owing the bank and thing, where you get that kind of money with PNM, right? With PNM get that kind of money from the party to build such a tower like that Babel tower down there in Chagaruchu. So anyway, CPEP loss that they pay by the government, and I hope that the government doing some serious investigation into the former administration to deal with those people if they being found in corruption, and if they're guilty, the government know what to do according to the Attorney General. Anyway, God bless, because all those who do wrong, right, they have consequences to deal with in respect to corruption and otherwise and any other wrongdoings. Anyway, I'm going. God bless.
Thank you very much. Anzam Mohammed say, why that busman not seeing the bright side of this UNC? Semantic say, busman say the same thing over and over. He get right. Miss Coover say a damn vex. Busman get off the radio. And why will boycott your program? Miss Coover, Busman after he say at the end of the day, what we have to do is intelligent callers like yourself and look the gentlemen who always disputing us about Venezuela and United States that and whatever. Look, he came on and answered Busman. We mustn't answer people that saying something over and over or talking nonsense by acting like the PNM. We mustn't be there's something, shut them up. Ban them. Don't play the voice note. No. We ways intelligently. When they say the thing, we organize and we let them know they're talking nonsense. Because look, Jill Monroe is saying, I love Busman. I can't stop laughing. And Jill Monroe is like me. I really like Busman. And I ain't like him because he talking nonsense and one thing. I like him because he just make me laugh. He's used big words like Lennox Smith and thing too. And I just get a laugh out of him. In a very, very serious program, I just get a laugh. I have a lot of people just get a laugh out of Busman and many other people contributions. So no, we are not chickens here. We want to hear people talk the dumb stupidness because we have intelligent enough people to answer them back. Okay? So let's continue there. Let me continue there quick. I just have one more voice note to play and then take our one call.
Andy, Andy, good morning. Andy, Orlando here. Andy, when Boston sent a message, just take the last 2 weeks ago message and play it back. Because this guy is redundant. It's the same set of crap. So when he said on that, just 2 weeks ago, take the whole message and play it. It's the same thing you're going to do. The guy is like a report. Play the same crap all the time. Okay, Andy, take some time.
Nice, cool. Again, I have to play Busman message because plenty of you don't know. A lot of people has called me after the program and thing. And a lot of people like to hear Busman. Let me be real. He not being disrespectful. He ain't cussing. He ain't being personal. He just organizing as a man that traveling with the bus over and over and over and over, mentioning about the issues. And only let me be real. I'm not in no way blaming this present government for the situation that the public transport service is in. But most of the things the busman are saying about the public transportation service is the truth. You know, my people is be traveling buses, be calling me and complaining about the bus. The bus shut down, the bus leaking, the bus has no air condition, the bus ain't have no brakes. You know, my people, the bus come late, the bus ain't come at all. So what banning him for? Why not playing the voice name for? The only thing I disagree with Busman with what it is he's saying, the truth he's talking about the bus service in this country. Down to what type of buses we supposed to buy or invest in. The man is be talking the truth all year. But just the only thing I cannot agree with him on is that he's blaming the present government for the situation. And he's wrong. Totally wrong. The present government have nothing to do with the horrible, because he's right, horrible situation of the public service transportation in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time. Just recently, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa mentioned about the police vehicles that Vimcot come and fix. All right, even if the present government want to fix, you ain't hear what they say? The parts ain't good. Parts come down that cannot be used. And when you have to get parts, it takes 6 months to reach. So you have things all you have to ignore Busman with. All you have to ignore him because all you let be real. I support the UNC. I support the government. I believe the government is doing a great job. But what Busman is saying about the public transport services of Trinidad and Tobago is the truth. But I know the government will remedy or try to remedy that situation as soon as possible. I know that about the government. They will. Just like how the start to remedy the situation with the police cars and them that just needed simple oil change and simple stupidness that the former government leave there in a police car graveyard. So mind you, he may come across irritating. He will come across with a lot of nonsense that he find the government not performing, and he dare see that. I disagree with him. But in disagreeing with him, don't mean because I disagree with him, I have to ban him. Don't play his voicemail. Don't make him contribute. All they tell him to be Rowley them. Remember, Rowley them didn't want to have a voice. Rowley say he got deal with we. And most of you, this deal with Busman by simply letting Busman know where he going wrong, where he talking stupidness with. And what he making sense with, he making sense with. And Johnny, this program is not the new JoJo program. I don't tell nobody jump on over nobody wall. Kidnap nobody. Damage nobody. And why would you say that, Johnny? Because I am saying plain that Busman complains about the public transport services of Trinidad and Tobago. The man complains. Is it truth? So what am I do, Johnny? Don't play voice note. Come on now, man. Lennox Smith. I don't know if you want to add in a two on that. People are saying
we proud and pride ourselves of being truthful, being raw to the facts of any particular issue, as we did this morning with respect to the that kidnapping episode. So so there's nothing more to add. The fact is, you may disagree, as you have a right to on the program, even though you may not make sense in your disagreement, or you may agree and make sense, and the other side may not be making sense. But the fact of the matter is that what we have is a platform where you can ventilate, agree to disagree, and be respectful, however, and all else will follow suit. You have a duty to say, for example, I too, I'm not comfortable with Busman's suggestion that somehow the government is responsible for the present predicament of the public transportation system in the country. I'm not in agreement with that at all. And the fact that the proximity between winning the election, being in government, and the remedy that is required, both financial, logistical, and revamping, if you want to call it that, or reorganizing, would take time. And therefore it will be disingenuous, if not dishonest, to expect or to make statements that the government, this present government, is responsible. I think that, to me, is stretching the envelope too far, and it is not consistent with the reality of the situation. That's all. But the complaints are there, and we have to accept that.
Ah, boy, and that is just simple. Separate. We don't know he talking stupidness with certain things, but we also know Busman is talking the truth with the public transport services of Trinidad and Tobago. It's a fact. Just like how the Honorable Kamala Pasal-Bissessa talk the truth about all those police cars in the police car graveyard, that VinCup could have fixed back so much with little bit of cost, by little cost necessary, little bit, and trying to fix the situation. That is all. The only thing is he just hullabalooing about the government this and the government that, and being on real stupidness.
Yeah.
When it comes to being honest with certain things.
We identify him for what the agenda is. The agenda is to tote a narrative that will support the PNM, as we saw in so many other instances, as what is being revealed at this time with respect to the PSA and of course the other trade unions that took the money. And one of the purpose for taking the 4% or the 5%, as the case may be, was to keep the status quo, to keep a painful, non-functioning, dysfunctional, wicked, diabolical government in place. And for that, they have to pay the price. They cannot have the cake and eat it.
Right, so simple. Somebody commits stupidness, let me just dispute them. Simple, let me just dispute them.
Yeah, it
works. When we was talking we sense, and Dr. Rowley and the PNM wanted to get we off radio, the tear gas, the this, but at the end of the day, they couldn't have stopped we. They couldn't have. The only way that they get to stop we was through Robert and Shanamar and them when they run we from the station eventually, when they say they go get we off the radio, however it go. Other than that.
And that too was temporary. We have to find ways and means of adapting and adjusting, because the cause, most important, the cause is so central, is so critical, is so of paramount that we had to find ways and means, if we are serious about national development and the transformation of this society, particularly from among the grassroots, where you reside in a country that has so much, and yet still the population, by and large, are being shortchanged for a few that want to dominate both decision-making, political, as well as financial, economic, and wealth. And therefore, we have to generate the equity that is required, the equilibrium that is required to make sure we have a
I know why I'm on that earlier, and country. I hope earlier do understand the pitbull, do understand the purpose of the program, the ground report. When people telling me, don't play a man thing and don't do this and ban a man, especially if he's not being disrespectful, even if he's not being not genuine, meaning he's a liar, I still not thinking here why. Yeah, why this at me? Or let's say I see pitbull. What kind of pitbull I is that to fight a man or to tell a man he's lying or to tell a man he's talking stupidness. My only way is to listen to what all they're telling me. Don't play voice note. Ban him. That the kind of mama man all they want all the pitbull to be by. I's not that type of man. I like to challenge people. And not only that, I know too that the program have a lot of very smart people that is not no mama man that wouldn't and mama woman that will want to challenge. They don't want to win a fight by default. So I must win Bossman nonsensical talk by not hearing what he's saying.
By shutting him up.
By shutting him up. That's all they want.
If he's bright, he will find another way to express it anyway.
Anytime I do that, Bossman win. It means Bossman brighter than me. It means Bossman brighter than all you. It means Bossman have more belly than all you. Because in order for Ole to debate him and let him know he wrong, Ole don't want to debate him, put him in place and let him know he wrong. Ole rather ban him. Don't play voicemail. Shut him up. That chicken man thing, boy.
Yeah, that
mama man thing. Don't let the pitbull go down that road all year. I's a fighter. Bossman can't handle me. Bossman can't handle Santa Cruz. Bossman can't handle Miss Roadbrook. Bossman can't handle Mr. Barrow. Bossman can't handle Rajin. I could call so much of people that don't mind Bossman talk because they know when Bossman talk his stupidness, they're coming to fight him back the right way, not by chickening out.
Easy correction. Easy correction.
Easy.
Because he's like lamb to the slaughter. Yeah.
So come on, man. I like when some people saying, like Chandra, time for Bossman to buy a car. Right, I just laugh. Some people is messaging, why Bossman take a bicycle like Scotland say, I like them thing. Oh God. Well, don't make this program a mama man or a mama woman program now. We here on the Ground Report, all of you, including Mr. Johnny. Johnny, all of we have belly. All of we fighters. All of we could debate. We don't have to foul a game in order to win the game. So don't encourage none of us to foul a game to win a game. Let me don't do that. Nice. It's 15 minutes past the hour.
Yeah. Time to get out of here.
Yeah.
I have some things to do as well. Yes.
Let me play this one here.
Sunday morning. Hey, Bossman so irritating, boy. Oh God, this PNM told us something. 10 years they had their own government around here and them they couldn't ask them to fix it to do something. Eh? These people are real dotish and stupid, boy. Oh God, I don't understand. They just want to have something negative against this government. That's all they want to do. Eh? But don't worry, all I will fix. And themselves, they might even live to travel in it when it fixed. You will see.
Aye. Look, a fighter now, boy. Listen to that message. He ain't call and say ban him. He ain't call and say don't let the man voice note, Bossman voice note play. He call and dispute and fight Bossman with the stupidness he talking. That is the Ground Report. That is each and every one of you that look on right now. We're going back mainstream. Only what we to turn mama man and mama woman now? Come on, let me see who else will fight the Bossman without fouling the game or without chicken out. Let me don't chicken out and no fight with nobody, boy. Nobody mustn't say they win a fight with we because we can't debate them or we can't tell them with the talking nonsense. No, none of them will win a fight with we. We go, let Bossman make we chickens.
Morning.
Not the pitbull. The pitbull is a bad one, boy. I don't foul. When I fight and I debate and I fight and I debating, it's either you win the debate or I win the debate. Eh? You feel like Bossman? Bossman is who's a chicken. Quack, 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 quack. Bossman is a chicken, not the growing pot program or not the pit bull. The only chicken that have right out there right now with Bossman because he lying about certain things. Ain't I debating him back? Ain't I talking to him? Come on now, man. Right, look, Martin Lewis. Yeah. He say, Bossman MUMC. Right. He ain't say, don't play Bossman. He line Bossman, who is better known as Coins, who this be lock on to what all they writing. He seen all what they writing. And that is good. That is good. Let you talk his stupidness. His stupidness go let plenty and we get bright. Last caller, morning caller.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, let me tell you something. I told you, see, plenty people don't understand how much it takes from people like Bossman and them negative people to come on a program like this. They really just don't want to admit that they're looking for help and they're looking for a place where they could learn and they know there's something better there. Otherwise, they could have been with the fat man name and all them sort of illiterate idiot with his only talk as sort of dotations to bring down government on them other programs. It takes so much for Bossman to come on a program like that, and he know he'll get bashed. But at the end of the day, he don't want to come out all out and say, hey, hear what? I really know that this is the place to be. This is the place where I could learn something. This is the place where I'll be educated and seek betterment for the country. You feel Bossman didn't know everything that went on for the last 10 years and know that the PNM failed, but it does take them some time. A zebra don't change its stripe in a day. You understand? They just take the time, but eventually they know this is the place and this is the voice that they could have to come out and say and make a difference. Everything Bossman doing is one for betterment, you know. Everything that he's saying is for betterment, you know. But you cannot come out and say the government doing something good because, you know, they're born at PNM, they got die at PNM, and then the people who probably know them go say, hey, you know, you're a sellout. How you gonna be aligning your people, yourself with these people? So you can't come out and say, hey, Andy, I support the UNC, I support what the government doing, you know. They had to come and use it in a kind of psychiatric kind of way to make us feel that them are supporting the government, but they want the government to do good. You understand? You had to think how these people must operate. You know? I know it have plenty that are old man up by me. Oh God, PNM is the worst thing. PNM is the best thing. Eric William is the godfather. Eric William do this. Eric William do this. But you know, every mountain when you see he get at 3,500 and he sit down, he whining low, he hugging up, he kissing and all kind of thing. I say, but wait now, PNM give you that? He say, Eric William this and Eric William that. But he had a thankful for the UNC. But still, you know, so you have to understand how these people must operate. So don't get frustrated. And I just always say, if you want to know the devil, you have to go down in hell. So to know these people, let it come, let it understand, and let it feel it, and let it see it, and let it live it, what life really is about, and what good governance is. And I could tell you, you see the decision where people like Watson Duke are making with sense, a lot of people in this country have to make sense also and realize that, hear what, you have to support what is best for the country. And eventually, we wouldn't have a PNM again, ever, in Trinidad and Tobago. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the holiday. Take care. And Bossman, good morning. Yeah.
Boy, let me look up this program. Yes, only I'm laughing.
Earlier, Andy, I didn't get a chance to explain the experience and the favorable nature of Watson Duke's decision. Because remember, when we were in Tobago and we did assist, of course, you know, in a very major way in the campaign, And subsequent to the victory, we met him at the Mandela Park. And then he said, well, he's coming to Trinidad. And we impressed on him that he should not come to Trinidad, that he should remain there and consolidate. It is too early to come, but he believed that he could be prime minister almost immediately because he was on a ride, he was on a row, he was on a winning streak. And we advised him not to do that. There was some other promises that he couldn't keep, but certainly we advised him not to do that because it was simply too early. And in fact, we describe it as the dog on the bone. The dog see a shadow of of himself in water, and he dive at that and lose everything. And so said, so happened. So I think it is good to see that he would have focused on good sense, common sense, and to, of course, make sure that his political survivability and the possibility sometime in the future that things would be so mended that he could, of course, rise again. Because after all, he's a talented guy. He's one that I know is committed and dedicated to the people, particularly Tobagonians. But sometimes, of course, the naivety and probably the motivation to get where you want to go so quickly that you bypass certain fundamentals that cause you to go back to square one. So I think that's a move that I believe will augur well for him and his future political prospects in Tobago and in the country.
All right. This boy, them and me laughing here, boy. Boy. Oh Lord, simply don't understand Duke, and guy is bright. Some people simply don't understand Duke. They say the guy is bright. Kathy say good morning. Joy say, Andy, you are happy today. Keep it all blessings. Right, let me continue. Say a prayer for the kidnapped victims. God is love. Okay. Just School say, read what time you're picking up duties at Maurice Street. Want to see how they tell Reed too? So, you understand? Them just real tell Reed all kind of dirty things.
Yeah, well, you have
and I don't get that.
You have these moments, you have these interludes of comic and something to give you a laugh. And it's important because that's why we enjoy this program, because it
just get your laugh.
It's packed with so much variety. Yeah.
We watching Patrick Patricia Reed now. Look what the man say. What time Patricia Reed picking up she duties at Maurice Street? That is a frig up. But what you go do? You understand? So what she do? She laugh. She laugh out loud. She really laughing. You see, only laugh, Patricia Reed laughing. Jill is saying, call her just like the ULP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Right? Patricia Reed say, Kelvin, tell me PNM mouth wide. Patricia Reed say, earlier, because of the PNM that we trying to say, earlier lived through COVID. So Patricia Reed is saying because of the PNM only lived through COVID. He playing, he ain't see. All right, Kevin.
You better tell that to the 5,000 that died.
Right. Look at what Just School telling Reed too. You understand? You know what Just School tell Reed. And I can't gain that and only don't get that. Because look what Just School say. Reed went Mason Hall on the red couch. Right? So he said, Reed went Mason Hall on the red couch. Right? Call her the devil is in them body. Right? Call her that's ungrateful people. That is Sandy Jones. Right? Kenny saying PNM worse than the COVID. Right? I prefer, right? Look, Jill Monroe is saying, I prefer to hear Bossman than to hear Penny, Gonzalez, etc. I rather to deal with Reed, Bossman, and all them than to really and truly deal with the PNM. Let me be real. Wells, 62. Reed alone makes up the 9. All right, Reed alone make up the 9. Call it that. Oh, shucks. You understand? Johnson. Hear this dunce, right? Next caller, Andy. He's talking too long. He's a total dunce. Right. No problem. No problem. Look how Kevin telling Reed. Andy, Reed was some cocoa. Yeah, well, that cocoa is other thing there, cocoa tea. Yeah. What Kevin Reed? Reed was some cocoa. Somebody else saying they don't have Reed is black. If he's a man or if he's a woman. Right? Patricia Reed now saying, have a good day, Andy. Andy, funny, with love eyes. Again, Andy, I love you. That Reed. Everybody don't hear me tell Reed. Right? Look, just cool. You're not telling Reed. Reed is a man. Look at Reed the stick she lash. He or she lash. But she don't get direct and she don't be disrespectful to that extent as some people. She don't cuss and go on whatever. She just take she licks and she just give back she licks. Right? Oh boy. Right. So here we get an Ann Blackman, Ann Jackman, I'm not getting on to you. Read begging me now. Unblock Anderson. Ask Bossman who he vote for. That's just cool. Read again. Unblock Port of Spain. Right, read again. Bless Bossman, bless up. He only must realize. Read again. Bossman, good morning. Read like to support the troublemakers. But he not being like the troublemakers. He don't go down the road of the troublemakers. Angela, laugh out loud, Andy. Angela enjoying herself. And only I wouldn't lie. Outer, when I do meet people, you know, people is actually mentioned Bossman. Just be like, Andy, what is Bossman this come out? And some people who ain't calling will be like, hey, Pitbull, what about Santa Cruz? And then that stupid one, the Bossman. And then that next notice one, Reed. And then they be calling up all these people names and them. It's all here in real. It are people who don't like to hear Reed, don't like to hear Ravi Nanan, don't like to hear Bossman, don't like, we know the people that it are people that don't like to hear. But all it are people that not taking them serious and like to hear them. Look, Michael telling me, and be careful, Andy, Reed is a transgender. Oh, Lord. Look, Sandy Jones. Andy, Kokoti. You understand? Right. But wait. That is 007. But wait. Where is Port of Spain? He's still in the car park? The next minute, when last is he Port of Spain? Is he in the car park still? Is he working? Where is he seen? Wait.
Since he disappeared just before on the cusp of the elections, because he sensed, of course, the consummate and the total defeat. I have not seen him around nowhere. I mean, and I'm in Port of Spain almost on a daily basis. I go down to where the car park is and I don't see him.
Oh,
so I don't know. He's probably ill. If he is, of course, we wish him a speedy recovery. There's no animosity here.
He illness is he PNM loss. He illness.
And take a position as we will in the interest, of course, of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Man, that man, I feel get at attack stroke. He mouth zip since he PNM loss. Look, Angela. Laugh out loud. Angela laughing. Andy, yes, Andy. Laughing is good. That other people is hard to get a laugh. Oh God, I and all. So all the program just be da. And I don't want nobody to get kicks on. Let me get my kicks on some of the people that talking stupidness now. Oh God, right. So now we can look to good morning, Mr. Tunapuna, somebody said. Now let me look to right. 007 saying the illness is PNM loss. And Evangeline say, laugh out loud. Keto, he taken front before, front take him. Laugh out loud. People getting Sandy Jones still laughing. Poor Reed boy, Kevin. Poor Reed boy. Look at, so everybody getting the leg kicks. Look at, and all Reed could do now is just laugh. Rickshaw say, Reed is a PNM man. Right? So
we have to go. We have to go.
Well, yeah, we have to go. So until tomorrow morning, please, God, thanks so much for locking on. All you could have choose anywhere else, but only choose the ground board. God bless each and every one of you.
This morning, but it was due to circumstances beyond our control. Don't forget, of course, tonight.
Corridor transformation. Yes. With yours truly, Lennox Smith. Okay, then. Lennox, you don't check that Ryan here. That is all I had to say. You don't do that already?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Trinidad and Tobago, all here, we gone. Until tomorrow morning, please go on. You all could have choose anywhere else to lock on to, but you all choose the ground report. And thanks so much for choosing
We
dress.
start on time and finish on time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
And don't forget all here, we's not chickens. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, cock. No. We's warriors. We's fighters. We's the ground report. We are belly. And when people come with their nonsense, we beat them with intelligence. We don't chicken out. Unless people get real disrespectful and really overdoing it.
That's how we elaborately decipher the kidnapping that just took place with the Venezuelan. We do it for you elaborately and with a high degree of efficiency.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.